My new movie, The Sunshine State, comes out later this year in summer. Not only did I write this movie, but also ChatGPT helped me write it and using AI to my advantage to make this movie. So the whole idea for this project basically came from me and my friends doing like these short films the past few months and stuff. You know, I scripted out a lot of stuff to the T. Obviously, they're not actors, and doing films and doing all this like improvised stuff. Like I know Joel Haver does a lot of improvised stuff. I thought to myself, hey, might as well make like a feature film completely improvised with a bunch of my friends, and not really scripting it out as much as I would like. But just kind of having that overall plan and just kind of like seeing where we can go with it, completely like up in the air. We'll just like kind of figure out the day of like, what we're going to do. And I did want to have a certain structure to this, and that's why I brought AI to help me in this project, is because I do want that like some sort of stability. The story to feel real, and I do want this to feel like a scripted movie, even though it's not scripted at all. So using ChatGPT for this project has been a huge help with like writing the dialogue and some stuff. But guys, don't get it twisted, all right? I'm not sitting here on my ass just like basically typing AI to write me a movie. I'm still putting work into this. I'm still using ideas of my own, and I'm just mostly using AI for like the dialogue and the narrator and kind of like the setup of the story and having all these different elements. And I have a lot of ideas in mind, and sometimes they get lost in sometimes my ideas and like things I want to add. But I think AI will let me have that structure. It's kind of like that net underneath the tightrope I'm walking across, and if I fall, it's there to catch me. And like if we fall in this improvised way, we still have AI to like help us like get out of that situation. So I'm currently on page 12. I've been working on this for about like 2-3 weeks or whatever. When it comes to my movies and stuff, I take my time with like the writing. I want to make sure I have the right idea, and this is actually something I want to do, and then I start writing. And when it comes to AI and how it affected basically this whole script so far, at least, basically, yeah, so I have a narrator who's going to narrate mostly like the beginning and kind of like introducing the characters and stuff like that. I'm okay at writing dialogue, I would say. It just really just depends. So that's why I ended up going to ChatGPT one day. I said, just write me a narration for a movie I'm writing. The narrator should be spoken in an urban African-American male voice actor. I asked him to say different things about Clearwater. I asked him to say different things about the Sunshine State. I'm really bad at recording, by the way, even though I'm a filmmaker. I did like different drafts. So like I kind of like, I asked like a bunch of different stuff of the same question. Each different response I took a little bit out of. It's not like exactly copy and paste, if you know what I mean. So like this first thing here, where like I gave me this first thing after I asked this first question, where you could like write me those prompts for the beginning of the movie. I'll show you here actually. Write me a narration for the movie I'm writing. The narrator should be spoken, same voice and stuff. The prompt should be starting out, now I know what you might be thinking, blah, blah, blah. I did different versions of that basically. All the different versions I had like about 5 different versions that ChatGPT gave me. I kind of all mixed it together, is what I'm trying to say. And that I didn't take one thing that ChatGPT gave me. I kind of added all different things. And when it comes to the characters, so the first character I have is Richard, and I play Richard. A lot of it, I just didn't know like what was gonna be in the movie. And I had a lot of like ideas and stuff. Basically, I was just like, just tell me a story about the guy, Richard, and him being able to make good friends, even though he's a party animal, and just giving him like a few things like to play with. In senior year 2020, the world shut down, party's over. The whole tragedy with Richard, and him, not really fulfilling his high school dreams about, traveling the world, because in 2020, the world shut down, so he wasn't able to do that. And that's kind of where like the story starts. And, the more ChatGPT gave me, the more ideas I got. They would like make up something on their own, like the AI thing would just make up stuff on its own as well. And I would get even more ideas and be like, oh wait, this is an interesting thing. Let's play around with this topic, you know what I'm saying? And I guess like the way like the narrator like described and how ChatGPT described like my dad working at McDonald's and him coming from Australia and kind of like him winning the lottery and that kind of stuff, and like just how he described like the whole thing. It's like a real person talking. And I'm glad that we have tools like ChatGPT, which like they can show you like different vocabulary, just stuff that's like not in my head, and kind of like words I use. And if you're a filmmaker and you're like looking for like new ways to get better, I would say like it's helping me because I'm adding more vocabulary. It's helping me get better dialogue. And that's kind of like at the end of the day, that's what I wanted. That's why I used this, is to have the narration. At least that's like one thing set in stone. I know I said before this movie is completely improvised, but that thing with the narration and like certain other aspects of it are set in stone, and that's kind of like the basis of the foundation of the improvised movie. So right now I just got done writing the scene where Richard and Evan are at the hospital, and I was just kind of sitting here for the last 5 minutes or so. I've been kind of getting like writer's block for like, or a temporary writer's block, like what should happen. And I just got the idea, hey, why not just ask AI? Why not just ask ChatGPT what should happen now? You know, it's like having like a person with you, but instead this person has like all the ideas already. So I kind of have an idea already what I want the next scene to be. I want to start introducing the other characters and just kind of like seeing where they're at this point in the story. I'm not really sure like the best way to go about it though. So let me just ask AI right now in the film are at the hospital. Carlos. So Carlos is the other character that we're going to be introducing into the story. There's a total of 4 characters that I have planned out that are going to be in this. I want to see Carlos unexpected, interesting way. So this is kind of just testing for me as well. Like, how good is ChatGPT? How good is it like in creative wise? Like, are they able to create like an interesting situation that doesn't feel cringe or doesn't feel like formulaic or anything? So let's just see what they say. Okay, I didn't give them all the details, by the way, so we're kind of ignore the first part where it says they're in the hospital bed. Obviously, we already know that they're not. They're outside the hospital. But as Richard and Evan navigate the corridors of the healing, blah, blah, blah. Enter Carlos, the man from the past, once defeated by Richard in a high school brawl and now navigating the aisles of Walmart. Oh, yeah, so I did have that earlier on in the ChatGPT log. But in the Sunshine State, in its folder, like it keeps all of it. So it has a memory of like what I had before. It has a memory of the system knows the characters already. Like it knows Richard and basically the whole story since like I wrote the story with it. So it's like they already know what to pull and what to pull from. This ain't no ordinary day at Walmart though. Unexpected is about at Carlos's door. Carlos swipes a can of beans across the scanner. So I kind of like this. I mean, it's about like him at Walmart and he's like kind of like juggling like the cans or whatever, and he's kind of getting into a fight. So we did say before in the ChatGPT log that Carlos lost a fight to Richard in high school, and he works at Walmart part-time in this moment of the story. I do like the idea of seeing Richard at Walmart in an unexpected situation. I don't like what ChatGPT gave me, but maybe like for me, I think like I'll just have him maybe almost getting into a fight with someone, since like we see him in a fight earlier on in the story with Richard. Maybe it'll be interesting to see that like he still has that temper. This situation, like me coming out with that idea, like I said before earlier on in this video, that idea didn't really came from me since I had writer's block 5 minutes ago. The ChatGPT gave me the idea, even though like what they gave me was completely kind of different of what I wanted or what I came up with. It still gave me the idea in an indirect sense. Yeah, so it's giving me more ideas as like I kind of like bounce ideas back and forth. It's kind of like if I have a real person, like if I have another writer with me right now, like, hey, like, you know, what should happen in this scene? What should happen in this story? And it's just kind of like talking to someone and you just like get ideas. And I think that ChatGPT is a great resource, you know, using this shit. Interior Walmart. We see Carlos in a form. Actually, I like the idea of him being in the parking lot because I like to think ahead of time as well. And it would be hard to shoot inside the Walmart and people would think he's the Walmart employee. And I'm afraid like something will happen, like we would get kicked out or something. That's also something I do pay attention to when I'm writing. And, you know, I know I'm like pausing here and telling all my shit, but anyways, I, you know, want to be realistic. And, you know, when I put something on the page, I'll be like, okay, is this something that we can actually do like tomorrow if we have to? Like tomorrow, can we shoot this? You know, I like to use as many locations as possible, you know, like the beach, for example. Like that's a lot of this movie is the beach, but like parks, public areas, stuff like stores and pretending to be people. Yeah, that might be a little bit risky just because like something bad can happen with the police. Like I remember at Pickup at Arby's, I'll just tell this little story here real quick. That'll be it, I swear. Yeah, so I remember for Pickup at Arby's, we did the scene in the park. You know, it's a park after all. We were doing our thing. no one was gonna bother us either way, but there were some people who were working on the railroad, and there's this tunnel that we wanted to shoot in, or at least my friends did, but I was getting second thoughts because like if the train's going and if people are walking around and we got like security guards, if they see us like in the tunnel trying to like shoot a movie, are they gonna kick us out? Are they gonna call the police? You know, because I'm just trying to have a clean film shoot, you know, I'm not gonna try to have any problems with that. So I think we're gonna put here that Carlos is outside the Walmart, is probably like getting the carts or something, and maybe he's getting into like, not a fight, but like he's getting aggressive with one of the customers or something, someone says the wrong thing. So overall, you know, I'm just making this video just to show you guys like how I used AI to make this movie and how it's giving me ideas. And I just kind of want to document this like journey along and just showing like my writing process and just kind of how I like pick up things and how I make up ideas. So that's why I want to make this video, kind of explaining why like I did AI with this. And ChatGPT is like a really cool resource and I do like it. And I don't really know if I'll use it in my future movies, but it was a very helpful one in this kind of improvised movie and this kind of film that I'm just doing with my friends and stuff. I'm looking forward to finishing this movie. It's coming out great, and who knows, like this whole draft could be deleted and completely redone tomorrow or the next day or next week. That's what I love about it, is because there's no strings attached. There's no like lockdown on anything. Anything can change with this. This is completely like up in the air because this is me and my friends' movies. This isn't my movie. This is supposed to be everything like we're all connected to. Thanks for watching, and if you're new, subscribe to see the Sunshine State in a few months. Be on the lookout for trailers and upcoming videos and other short films. Thanks for watching and have a great day.